Welcome back to Indie Comics Corner. I'm Chris, and today I want to talk to you about 5 hidden gems that I rarely see get talked about online that I think you should absolutely check out. But before we begin, be sure to like the video if you like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more from us in the future. These will be in no particular order, but I am going to do the classic, the top 5 is really a top 6, and our secret 6th book, an honourable mention if you will, goes to Space Mullet from Daniel Warren Johnson. This was originally a webcomic, but it's recently been republished as a trade paperback through Image Comics, and that's why I've got it as an honourable mention, because I've not actually finished the whole story yet. However, what I have read is excellent. Considering that this is Johnson's first major work from 2012, you can already see the incredible storytelling ability that he has. We follow ex-Space Marine Jonah and his alien co-pilot Alpheus as they go around the galaxy doing odd jobs. Over time, they get pulled into bigger situations and their crew grows larger, and we join them on their adventure. And of course, we have excellent Daniel Warren Johnson artwork. I really don't think anybody in this business is doing these physical moments as well as him. I've previously described his artwork as kinetic, and you can really feel the impacts on the page. It also has a lot of heart. It's funny and the characters are likeable, and it's really interesting to go back to a creator's early work and see the evolution to the work that they do now, like The Moon is Following Us, which I recently reviewed. Coming in at number 5 is Plastic from Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard, published by Image Comics. Plastic is about a retired serial killer called Edwin, who's on a road trip with the love of his life, Virginia, who's, shall we say, a companion doll? Unfortunately, Edwin gets inadvertently caught up with the wrong people and Virginia is taken from him, but Edwin will not stand idly by. It's a story of romance, revenge, and trying to be a good person in the face of adversity, and it's one of the weirdest stories I've ever read. It's funny, graphic, and absurd, but with so much care put into the storytelling, you really do get invested in Edwin. He's such an unlikely hero that you can't help but love him. Number 4 is That Texas Blood from Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips, also published by Image Comics. A modern western crime series set in Ambrose County, Texas, we primarily follow the life of the sheriff, Joe Bob Coates, as he solves mysterious crimes in his town. Each story arc follows a different mystery, with Volume 1 involving a haunted Hollywood writer returning home after his brother's been murdered. Volume 2 sees us back in time, when the sheriff as a young man is investigating a mad cult, and Volume 3 follows the investigation of a serial killer called the Red Queen Killer. I love this approach to storytelling. It's fun to see characters reference past events from their lives that we then get to read as future stories. I also think Chris Condon does a great job of making these characters feel real. You get to see their shortcomings and their flaws and what makes them unique. It's also grounded. Jacob Phillips also does a phenomenal job with the art. He really captures the settings and the facial expressions so well. If you're a fan of Ed Brubaker's work, you'll absolutely want to check out this series. Number 3 is Sink from John Lees and Alex Cormack, published by Comics Tribe. Sink is a horror series set in a fictional borough of Glasgow called Sink Hill. Killer clowns, fox masked vigilantes, and buses from hell. It's got it all. Each story in Sink follows a horrific event happening to some unsuspecting person and how they deal with it. Some will survive, some won't. It's a lot like a normal night out in Glasgow, really. These stories are very unique, and they feel like they could be modern-day folktales. We've got creepy monsters, evil insane killers, and bizarre heroes trying to save the day. The art from Alex is incredible, and it complements John's writing so well. These guys are some of the most underrated, and I'm shocked they're not bigger names in the industry. I'd highly recommend checking out the YouTube channel Imperious Rex, who did a deep dive into this series. Number 2 is Canto from David Boer and Drew Zucker, originally published by IDW and more recently by Dark Horse. Canto and all of his kind used to have hearts until they were enslaved and their hearts were replaced by clocks. Canto loves a tin girl, and when her clock is damaged beyond repair, he must embark on an epic quest to recover her heart to save her. And speaking of heart, this book has it in spades. It's a love letter to classic fantasy such as The Wizard of Oz, Labyrinth, and The Neverending Story. The world is fantastic and the characters we meet along the way are wonderful. Canto is heroic and an easy character to root for. There's a sense of whimsy with this story and it's such a delightful read. Last but not least, we have 47 Ronin from Mike Richardson and Stan Sakai, published by Dark Horse. This is a retelling of the Japanese tale of the 47 Ronin. After their master is unjustly killed, 47 of his most loyal men do what they can to lay low and avoid suspicion until they can one day have their chance at revenge. There are different versions of this story because so much information has been lost to time, but this is a real thing that happened, and it's been said that to know this story is to know Japan. Stan Sakai was a perfect choice for the artist. He understands the look and feel of Japan and he portrays it beautifully, and his ability to showcase the skills and talents of these swordsmen is incredible. Obviously, he's mastered this from Usagi Yojimbo, which is another series I highly recommend checking out if you've not heard of it. 47 Ronin was a fascinating look at a piece of history that I wasn't familiar with, and I would highly recommend that you check it out. So that's all of them. Have you read any of these books, or do you have any hidden gem suggestions you'd like to share? Let us know down below. Be sure to like the video if you like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more from us in the future. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.